I'm going to show you something today that's so egregious that you're just going to have to say, man, how does one do it? And before we get into the story, I want you to understand that just imagine 50 years of this exact same treatment. I want you to consider.
Okay, very quickly. This is the Maryland prisoner abuse information. So this is just me going over the prisoner abuse and what was taking place in the state of Maryland.
This treatment that you're going to see today, how egregious it is. Because in America, we got a game. There's a book out called Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Cat named Ralph Ellison. His name's Ralph Ellison. Amazing book. Nonetheless, shit. What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought with Ralph Ellison. Oh, egregious.
Rock Hollison.
There's a game called Run Nigga Run. Where all they do, a real game. Well, all they do is just keep you in circles, and they do things like, for example, when they ruined Stoney's medical career, and he got into skateboards, he's going to sign a multi-million-dollar skateboarding deal in California. They kick him off a plane. Things like that, coincidence like that.
Yeah.
When I moved to Holland from Baltimore, I had sold my block on Emerson Avenue for $2.1 million. And I moved to Holland, and 2 weeks before the closing went through, 3 of my stores were burnt to the ground.
Now, the 3 stores that burnt to the ground, understand that I was living in Holland. I had purchased a house in Holland and was waiting for the sale of my block. I had sold my block for $2.1 million. I was walking away with a 1.3 profit. A gentleman by the name of Mark Alexander Fuller. I'm pretty sure Mark Alexander Fuller burnt down the buildings because he got in a fight with one of my tenants in a week before the fire. But nonetheless, Mark Alexander Fuller, he is an implant. Some different things that happened throughout my business that I realized he was involved with. As a matter of fact, when I purchased the 3 sets of buildings, the day while I was actually at the closing, another property was getting foreclosed on while I was buying 3 buildings at the same time. So I noticed that a lot of my big events, every time I had a big exciting event that was good, I would always have a crazy ass tragedy coincide like the exact same day. You're going to find this guy Mark Fuller is an implant. He works for the government. He's one of those black jigaboo implants. Matter of fact, his father, his great grandfather fought for the South during the Civil War, so he fought to keep niggas in chains. But nonetheless, same thing. He has a business partner, a friend of him. I don't know how. It's a guy he deals with. Who got this $1 million contract to do the embassy work in this embassy in D.C. And the exact same day that he got this embassy work, it was like a $2 million contract. The guy's daughter got kidnapped. So understand that every time that people have things going on, they seem to have tragic or crazy events the exact same day associated with Mark Fuller. So the dude is going to find out that Mark Fuller not only had something to do with the daughter getting kidnapped the day that he got the $2 million job with the embassy, but he also going to find the guy Mark Fuller was also involved with the stealing the cars with the state's attorney's, with the person in the state's attorney's office.
Just coincidence.
Just coincidence.
You know, it's weird how you try to get out this simulation, but they find ways to bring you back because they burnt the stores down. It took the sale fell through. So I then had to buy the house in Holland with all of my cash and go to my gold. You understand? You understand how the fuck do you know that you understand these coincidences keep just happening? You understand? This game called Run Nigga Run and go chase the nigga. So I'm going to present something here today that if anybody dares say anything about anything, they show you who they are because of the egregiousness of what you have to live with on a daily basis. Because when you look like us, just asking the question can get you killed. And what I mean is this. You can't dispute cold fries at a fucking McDonald's because they know that if you get too loud, that they don't call the manager to give you hot fries. They just call the police on you because you're black. And then they like to show you yelling and screaming at somebody saying, see, look at the nigga. Look at the nigga, see, look at the nigga. Look at the nigga, listen to him, look at the nigga. That's the game they play. So, I'm going to send you a video, I'm going to send you a voice recording right now. And let me show you the trick that gets played to black men. And it's just the worst thing they do to us. And the worst part about it is, white people have been doing it forever. They do the game of spit in a black man's face, and then he smack the shit out you, and then they say, look at the nigga. But the worst part about it is, black people do it too. And they sit in line and say, yeah, look at the nigga. And you gotta understand that these black people you're talking about are your politicians, your entertainers, your everything, your attorneys, everything. So, I want you to listen to what a nigga sounds like, okay? This is the game they play, and this is how they do it every time there's a black person, black man in any interaction.
I want to apologize from the beginning. There's going to be some cursing in this, so I want to let you know in advance that this phone call is going to have some cursing in it.
How did it do?
I apologize in advance.
Just listen. Something in here. I'm just bringing around. So am I reaching the tip line? So can you guys hear that first of all?
No.
It was cutting in and out.
Okay, I'm gonna play it through my speaker. I'm gonna play it through my speaker.
Different
Oh,
angle.
no. I'm gonna send H-Round here. I'm gonna send it to you. Why am I doing stuff again? That doesn't make sense, right? We know that I shouldn't be doing anything. Adriano,
Yeah, bro.
play this call. Play this call. Okay? So let me show you what your existence is as a black man in America. Actually, the world. And play this call.
Tax 45, what is your tip?
Okay, so am I reaching the 545 tip line?
For the 200th time, this is the newsroom. We take tips. What is your tip?
So, when I asked you the first 5 phone calls,
I already
you're recorded.
told you.
Guess what? This is going online. So everything you're doing is going online. So you lying will be online. You are lying, don't worry about it. It's recorded. It's recorded, so lie as much as you want. So put somebody else on the phone who wants to do their job, you liar. Find someone else who can take this call. Talk to some, no, somebody else, you are not qualified. So, will you find somebody else? You find a supervisor. You find somebody else, because you are not equipped. You are not equipped. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are disingenuous. You are unprofessional. You are unprofessional. You are lying. Guess what? It's recorded. Guess what? Guess what? Because that's what you are. That's what you are. I state the truth. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are unprofessional. I called you 5 times, asked you one simple question. Is this the tip line? But you a goddamn lie. I got the messages. You a goddamn lie.
You a damn liar. I got the message. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear your words? Do you want to hear your words? You liar. You liar. Do you want to hear your words? You liar. You a liar, bitch. Everybody, I don't give a fuck. You should have told the truth from the beginning, bitch. You lying piece of shit. Tell the truth. You are a liar and you're being recorded. I called you 5 times, asked you one question. Answer the question is yes or no. It's not this, that, the other. Do your job. You at work. You are at work. It's your job. It's your job to talk to people. It's your job. So here's how it works. Let me tell you about your job. Let me tell you about your job. When somebody calls to you and asks who you are, you identify yourself so they know who they're talking to. You should know that. Guess what, bitch? Crazy person. Bitch, well, crazy person. You dumb bitch. We'll remove your number from the website, you stupid bitch. A person calls and says, is this a tip line? You say yes or no. You don't give them this fucking runaround. No, I ain't got time for that shit. It's your job. You give people attitude because you having a bad day. Who gives a fuck? It's your job. It's your job, bitch. It's your job. It's your. I'm not. You suck. Do you want to hear what the fuck you said to me? Want me to sing you how you talk to me? Do you want to hear? Don't worry about it. You're gonna hear it online, bitch. So don't worry about it. You're gonna hear it online, bitch. And okay. Find someone else to listen to my tip because it's important. And you too stupid to take it. You too stupid. You too stupid to get the tip. You too stupid to get the tip. I don't care. You don't even know my name. It don't matter. Here's the thing is, I got it recorded, and I got everything you said to be recorded.
Well, damn.
Keep going. Don't worry about it. Just keep listening.
Are you ready to say the tip or no?
Are you ready to treat me like a person with respect?
You've called me a bitch 5,000 times.
I called you a bitch 6,000 times. 6,000 times. You're a bitch 6,000 times. But you would work. You would work. I don't have a mother. She died. Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Okay, good. My name. Are you recording this?
I am.
Good. My name is Santana Nottage. I've worked for the Department of Justice for the past 17 years, providing medical services for the Department of Corrections, doing all of the optometry for every prisoner in the state of Maryland for the past 17 years. I'm an optometrist and my optometry vendor for the Department of Corrections and the Department of Safety and Public Safety. I do the eye care and make all of the glasses. I do the eye exams for all of the prisoners. 30,000 inmates have been abused, neglected, and are not being seen. I referred this information because the patients are going blind. I gave the information to the MBE office, the Maryland Department of Corrections, the Governor's Office of Minority Affairs, and the DPSCS. The DPSCS erased the patient's records. I have over 100,000 pieces of documents, emails, and voicemails showing that over 30,000 patients' records were deleted. I have records and emails showing that Dr. Michael Summerfield, the ophthalmologist for the prison system, received $5 million of taxpayer money without providing any documentation. He has not documented in any prison file in over 5 years. He has no documentation in the prison electronic records for over 10 years. He was paid $5 million of state taxpayer money because he's the governor's cousin. So they're investigating Marilyn Mosby because she's investigating a $5 million fraud. She's being indicted because of a $5 million prison fraud that everyone knows about. Now, do what you want with the information. All of it's online. It's terrible that people have to give information to people like you because people are going blind because people like you don't want to do your job. So you go and tell your superiors or whoever that $5 million of taxpayer money was defrauded. The Governor's Office of Minority Affairs, and they know about it. Her name is Nichelle Johnson. Shawana Orison Blackston is the MBCE officer. The person at MBE who's aware of this, who has all the documentation, is named Marvin Osford. The medical director for the Department of Correction and DPSCS is Sharon Bockham. Horizon Health Service is the prime that's taking care of the prison medical right now. Her name is Tasha McMillan. They all have 100,000 pieces of documentation of prisoner neglect, and they all have the letters when the DPSCS deleted the patient's records. That's important. So people shouldn't have to talk to dumb bitches like you to get this information out. Do what you want with it. So,
Whoa.
that's an angry man, right?
You look like
Right.
sound like you're about to blow a fuse.
Right, but that's a nigga, right? Look at the nigga, right? You see how angry he is? You hear that man calling her bitches? Look at the nigga. That's called look at the nigga. You understand? That's what they do to you in America. You see how angry he is? You want to talk to him? See, in America, what they do is they show you that guy first. They show you that guy first. So white people get to stand around in silence and just sit and point and say, look at the nigga. Look at that nigga. Like, look at Kanye West. Look at that nigga. Look at Floyd. Look at the nigga. You know Floyd Mayweather was bit on his hand during a boxing match and they didn't do nothing about it? He was fighting the guy, Maidana Faith. That's why you are on the damn team. Maidana. And he bit Floyd Mayweather on the hand and everybody saw they did nothing. You know, there's this gymnast in black gymnast in the 80s. She used to be able to do a backflip while she was ice skating. And because no one else could do it, they always suspended her and disqualified her for all of the events. And she grew up broke and penniless because they disqualified her because she was doing a backflip while she was ice skating. And because they couldn't do it, they punished her for it. These people in this prison system are the most despicable people you can imagine. But I want you to understand that this is the game they play. It's called Watch the Nigga, Watch the Nigga. But since you are getting the insight on the game called Watch the Nigga, Adriano, play the email the one I just sent you. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Play that one.
I don't think nothing's planned.
Adriano?
No, I'm not getting anything either. I'm just getting like shuffling noise. Yeah.
Oh, it's one. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is the first call.
Fox 45.
Hi, is this the Fox 45 tip line? Hi, I'm trying to reach the Fox 45 tip line.
It's that Fox 45. How may I help you?
I'm just asking. I see online it said this is the number for the tip line. Am I reaching the tip line? Can I ask that question? This is the
How
number
may I
they
help
give.
you this morning?
This is the number I was given
Do you
for
have
a tip.
a news tip?
Well, yes, but I want to make sure I'm talking to the right department, and I guess I can't ask you that question. Am I talking to the tip line? I do. Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes,
what
I
is the
do.
news tip?
Are you the tip line?
Hi, Brandy.
I'm recording you, by the
How are
way.
you?
I'm recording you, and everything that's going on is being recorded. So I'm letting you know that you're gonna be online today.
They said that there's still one
So
trap.
understand that I'm calling the tip line for Fox, and listen to how the person is talking to me. And all I did was ask her, was this the tip line? So you're watching and listen to all this as we're going. All I did was ask her if this is the tip line, and you see her. I'm going to keep her on the entire time so you can hear what happens.
Contact with them, so they're working to free him. But the other two
I'm going to keep them on the phone so you can hear how they talk to you when you call for a tip, and you just ask them if they're the tip line. So
I think Jimmy's out there. So Jimmy
just keep
is
listening.
near like the street blockings and everything.
Keep listening. Let her keep talking.
So I understand that I should get the first phone call first, so you can
You
see.
hear this? Just keep listening to her.
You can see.
Keep listening to her.
Yeah, that first conversation.
As soon as I hang up, I'm posting this. As soon as I hang up, I'm posting it so you can hear what happens when you call in. So you saw me ask her one simple question.
Okay, you're welcome.
So, you hear this? Listen to it.
So understand. I just
Listen to
asked her
Hello?
if this is
Yeah,
the
you hear
tip
her?
line.
Just keep listening. Because she can play games, but this is being very public.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, just listen to her. Keep listening to her. People think they're funny. But they forget that you can record their conversations. And she just hung the phone with me. So,
Now understand. They keep on saying, "Oh, look, he's this nigga. He always angry." But look, I just asked her. I called the number online. It says Fox 45 News tip line. I asked the tip line, the person who answered the phone, "Hi, is this the tip line? And this is the treatment." So I understand, like, listen, I understand that everybody want to make it seem like you just some crazy nigga who just can't control himself. But man, if I can't just call a tip line and just say, "Is this the tip line?" Listen how this woman talks. God damn, like they don't realize that that people get tired of this shit, man. People get tired of this shit.
let you see what
Okay, you can
happens
stop.
when you try to call into.
So,
That was the tip line.
yes, so understand, you're watching the game go down. See, they fuck with black people, black men, and this is the shit they do to you. You understand that? What if I had a tip to explain there was a house full of girls being sexually assaulted and they needed to be rescued because they were going to be moved in 2 hours? What if I had something, you understand that? These things are pressing things, and some things are confidential, and some things I have not revealed yet because I need to make sure that the sources that I still deal with are protected. So understand that she is so confident and so cavalierly and disrespects you. She don't give a fuck who you are. She never asked who you was. All she was is you was a nigga. And she knows that all she did was she don't realize that we are all connected. She don't realize this little trick that humanity used to play that they lost track of, forgot how to easy person who I am. You hear how she's angry because somebody's in the crowd whispering the word nigga. You do think some things are a little peculiar.
Okay,
So
so
tell me,
I'm just
but she was playing that game.
fast forwarding this for you so you can get to
say,
the meat of everything.
so let me share with you why all this is taking place. Gentlemen,
Okay, so please keep in mind, all of this is happening because Dr. Michael Summerfield, well, not Dr. Michael Summerfield, but he is the doctor who was not seeing his patients. So we're having these issues now simply because I wrote a whistleblower letter exposing the things that were taking place in the prison system. So this is Dr. Michael Summerfield. So we see a picture of Dr. Michael Summerfield. So we know. Okay, well, let's continue on.
now, I know you guys aren't attorneys, right? But you do think some things are a little peculiar. So tell me if you think this is a little bit peculiar. I'm going to send you some pictures. Give me 1 second.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to share with you an email.
Okay.
I'm going to share with you the actual communications between myself and the Department of Corrections, the governor's office, all the people that make decisions on who should be in prison and who should eat and who should not eat. Adriano. First, you can show them a picture of my email that shows that everything I send out, it gets failed. But the email that's under that is the email that we're putting policy in place. You see, because this person, Dr. Michael Summerfield, had not documented in the patient's records or the electronic records for the prison system for more than 10 years, every time I came to them to say, hey, this guy's not seeing his patients, everybody look at me like, get out of here, nigger. That's how it was. So I need to put a mechanism in place where we can monitor who he's seeing and who he's not seeing. Is that a bad thing? Why am I a bad guy for wanting a doctor who's responsible for the souls of 30,000 people's eyeballs to be monitored? But guess what? I get to be the nigger. Look at the nigger. So what you're looking at, I'm gonna catch up to speed in a second. What you're looking at, Adriano, is this is the email that was sent to all the medical directors on August 26, 2015. And you'll see at the top of that email that make sure you task every director of this site as well as Summerfield and Rodney Scales. And this guy needs to be tasked on every consult. So what you're looking at on this email is an email for each of the medical directors for the entire prison system of Maryland. Because no more are you frauds and demons. Dr. Chessman, you cool as a fizzang, you're the only cool one. No more of you are going to pretend like you don't know what's going on. Because here's an email that we shared with all of you frauds, you demons, and you guys are breaking the law because these are constitutional issues. They are guaranteed constitutional rights. Okay? So that was sent to them basically saying, hey, make sure everybody gets tasked, okay? So then I said, okay, cool, let's keep this thing going. Let's make sure that everything remains consistent. So then, here you go, Adrian. I'm sorry. Y'all know who I am. Stuff. Okay, so this is the email dated August 27, 2015, straight from Dr. Michael Summerfield. Okay, the guy that no one wants to talk about, and he states, I understand that she wants our notes in the EPHR. We will continue to scan and send digital copies of medical records for EPHR. But I thought she wanted to be data for our own on-site referrals from optometry to ophthalmology. I remember that she was she wants to be able to see someone what percentage of what referrals are seen in any given time. Will tasking me the referral give her that information? I just want to make sure that we are giving her what she wants. So I'm going to read the last line to you again. Will tasking me the referral give her that information? I just want to make sure that we're giving her what she wants. So basically, what we did for their medical records is we created something called tasking. It's a task. It's your job. So the system automatically flags you and says, hey, we're waiting to be seen. Hey, hello, I am Red. See me. But I talked to Dr. Sharon L. Bachman, and I'll show you the email conversation where
I am not going to put Dr. Sharon L. Bachman's picture up because Dr. Sharon L. Bachman has a twin sister, and I think that would be very unfair. Out of respect for her twin sister who has nothing to do with this, I will not be showing you a picture of Dr. Sharon L. Bachman.
where this is the new agreed upon policy for him to do so. So, in response to him saying, are you sure you really need to task me? You don't really have to task me. We can just keep doing nothing. My response is, I had a talk with Rodney, and a few things came out in our conversation that you and me did not have an opportunity to discuss. Going back to the meeting with Dr. Bachman Jr., she states the position is that the data is in the EPHR belongs to the state and not to the providers. So you cannot just see a patient and take it home with you like you've been doing for the past 10 years. He has not been required to keep charts, physical charts in the patient's records. So if something happens to a patient involving a trauma to the eye, they can't go into the physical charts at the facilities, any of them, because he got them at his house. They let him get away with this shit. So I say she needs full the EPHR, the data in the EPHR belongs to the state and not the providers. So don't bring your spouse home. Leave them here at the prison so we can have them if we need them. She also stated she needs full access to the patient info. Creating a spreadsheet will not give her access, and she articulated that in the meeting. We are POS, my company, are going to continue with the documentation into the EPHR and will add tasking. My guys will just have to put in a little extra time to do their duties. I do not want to sit in the room with Dr. B to explain why she is not seeing all the patient information. My guys have already started tasking, and I think that keeping a spreadsheet along with tasking will ensure nothing will fall through the cracks. So you understand that he's saying, hey guys, hey Santana, do we really got a task? Just tasking records? And I'm saying, you goddamn right. And not only tasking, we're tasking 3 times over. I'm sorry if I seem angry, but every time I go through this, it gets more and more despicable.
So when I say we're tasking 3 times over, I made it my business to tasking electronic records at the institutions. I made it my business to make a physical copy that I put inside the physical charts inside the institution so it will be readily available to the institutions, to the patients at any notice. And I kept a physical copy myself in my office. And I scanned a physical copy that I keep electronic records I've been doing for the past 10 years. And I emailed the institution a copy of the records as well. I have redundancies in place to make sure nothing falls through the cracks.
So, this is from the statewide medical director. So basically in the prison systems, think about each prison as its own individual hospital. So if there's 30 prisons, they're going to have 60 different doctors. They're going to have 120 different doctors because they got to be able to cover all the shifts. There has to be a doctor on site all the time. Okay? This guy named is Dr. Gatachi. I'm going to send you a picture of him. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. Back up a little bit and squint your eyes before you look at it. Can you dig it out? But this is a letter from the doctor in charge of all of the doctors in Maryland prison system, Dr. Gatachi. He has an assistant, Vodera Harley, send me and my organization an email to tell us to please remove us from ophthalmology tasking because this is causing an overload in his task box. So the person who's responsible to make sure the tasking is being done is saying since we started sending him tasks, that his box has become overloaded with ophthalmology referrals of people who were not being seen. So not only is he aware of it, he's saying, don't look at it, I don't want to see it. Okay? So, this is what our EPHR system looks like. And everything you see on there, that's all ophthalmology. And it's screaming red. Everybody fucking sees this red. The medical directors, all of them see this red screaming.
But they get to say, look at that nigga. Look at this nigga over here. Look at the nigga got his hat capped to the side. But they shows up in all of their email inboxes every day, all day, for 6 months straight. So understand that they all got it, they all seen it. So this, what you're seeing, is what our system looks like when somebody's doing their job. So from December So, this spreadsheet right here represents all the people that were waiting and still hadn't been seen in just a 5-month snapshot. And you keep saying, you see what my company says, here's the reason why they got to be seen. You look and say, this person needs to be seen for this person's eyeball about to fall out, this person's pressure so high, they're going to go blind within 24 hours. We put it all out there. And everything is ophthalmology. Never seen in electronic health records. Never seen. So not only does he not document, he's not seeing the people. He got $5 million of taxpayer dollars. You understand? So let me move it to that. Understand, this is it. This is just a 6-month snapshot. And this is over 500 people in 6 months. So multiply that times the 13 years he's been doing it. So, what happened to all this? What happened to all of this? So understand, I'm in optometry. You look at this and you see that these are serious conditions. These conditions are beyond my scope, which we're allowed to practice. We can't do anything about this. This person with the glaucoma and all these issues, we can't do anything. We're not legally allowed to do anything. So now I am attached to this filth and the suffering of these people, and I do not want to be attached to these people. So, guess what? So I presented Wexford Health Sources. The person's name at Wexford Health Sources is a gentleman by the name of Marty Kovacs. Let me spell it for you in case y'all don't know. Marty, M-A-R-T-Y, Kovacs, K-O-V-A-C-S. Marty Kovacs, they put him in charge of Maryland because Wexford was losing their contract because this is more than a $500 million contract. The medical, keeping niggas in cages, is over a $500 million contract for the medical. So 6 months before the state was ready to replace them with another vendor, Marty Kovacs came in to just whip everything in shape for Wexford Health Sources, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Wexford, Pennsylvania. Marty Kovacs came in to whip everything in shape and make everything all whole again. He was doing great. Then he started fucking a woman by the name of Melanie Jacques. That's right. I name names because you lie. He started fucking a woman out Hagerstown, a scheduler by the name of Melanie Jacques. So it was hard for him to do his job, especially when it came to seeing Dr. Michael Summerfield not doing his work because they cool like that. So let me tell you, this guy, Marty Kovacs, they replaced him. Before he was there was other person who I made aware of this on more than 10 occasions. Her name was Marianne Fortkin of Wexford Health Sources. Let me tell you the privilege of being white in America is. Marty Kovacs, during the RFP meeting when they were trying to save the contract, started a fight and lied and did an open lie on my company 2 months before the decision of an RFP. And the crazy thing about it is he did an open lie to black people who I've known for 17 years. So as soon as he told them, they came back and told me. And they literally, he risked a more than $500 million contract to try to get me fired. And he don't know the people who he told this to are my friends. So they lost the contract because of this fool. But he still gets to keep his job. How many niggas can lose a $500 million contract and get to keep their job after fucking the chick they supposed to be put in charge of stuff? How's that happen? Yeah.
So, this guy Marty Kovacs, he was he was. They brought him in to be in charge in Wexford, trying to save a contract because this was a new RFP. So this buffoon started an argument in front of the entire prison, in front of the entire state. This guy Marty Kovacs, this dummy. He works for Wexford Health Source. This guy a dummy. Not only did he start a fight with me in front of the entire state and lie on me, he started fucking this chick right here, Melanie Jacques, who's a scheduler from Hagerstown. Hey, Melody, how you doing? That's Melody. So it's like, understand that they're running this contract like high school, and if the cool kids don't like you niggas, you don't get to get your medical care. But this is Melanie Jacques and Marty Kovacs, because they have an open affair going on and he's her boss. So if you tell him anything that's going on with her because she's stupid, it's going to go on deaf ears because my words mean a whole lot less than her coochie to Mr. Marty Kovacs, the one who lost the $700 million contract. $700 million contract because he couldn't keep his hands off of Melanie Jacques. You know what? Maybe she should Me Too him, but I know that's not right. Hey, Melanie Jacques, Marty Kovacs, and I hope your football career gets back on course, Marty Kovacs.
Also, so when this happened, I brought this to everybody's attention. As the person in charge, and I brought this to their attention about these people, we told Larry Hogan is the relative of Dr. Michael Summerfield. So let that be known. The governor, by the way, y'all don't know, for you in the UK, over there, Adriano, the governor of Maryland's name is Larry Hogan. And he's the relative of Dr. Michael Summerfield, the same doctor who's not seeing his patient, the same one who don't have no documentation, the same one who received more than $5 million of taxpayer money. You understand? Like, he didn't even put the patient's name in. It's like, imagine somebody sending you a piece of paper with a number on it, and you don't even put the list of people's names that you saw. That's what he was able to do and get millions of tax dollars money. Marilyn Mosby is the state's attorney for Baltimore, for the state of Maryland. She has been looking and investigating the prisons. So since she started investigating, he decided that he's going to indict her for $45,000.
I thought that Marilyn Mosby, once I gave Marilyn Mosby all of this information that I'm showing you, and her medical crimes investigator, this is Marilyn Mosby. She's the state's attorney for Maryland in Baltimore City. Her. So I gave her and her office all of this information that you're seeing right now. And there's a person by the name of Fauntleroy. He is the medical crimes investigator. And I thought that she was actually investigating this, but she wasn't. So this is why I was talking about Marilyn Mosby.
$1,000 of her own money from her own 401k, gentlemen. So her own money, $80,000 is what they're saying that she used of her own money. They're trying to indict her and give her 70 years in prison for $80,000 of borrowing her own money on a loan application. So first off, it's bullshit. The accountant approved everything and signed off on it, so they can eat a dick on that one. But even if she did, are you telling me that her borrowing $80,000 of her own money is more detrimental to the health and welfare of people than somebody's father going blind? Somebody's mother not getting their medical attention? You mean that $5 million of taxpayer money that's unaccounted for is not detrimental, but a woman borrowing money from herself is the reason for her to go to prison? So I just want you to just look at the hypocrisy of all this. And I want you to see just how openly they're able to be so disrespectful to you. And they do the same thing with her. They play the look at the nigga game. She's a nigga. So let me send you another group of emails that's going to, if you think that this is disrespectful, I got nothing for you. Hold tight. Let me drink this water because y'all see this shit is wide open. And I'm going to show you all the people who copied on it. They're not even trying to hide it because all of them are in on it and they go to the courts and they buddies. But Marilyn Mosby is the one who fought the system. Let me tell you something she did.
She didn't. Let me skip past her because she didn't do shit. That's the reason why she got fired. Let's not talk about her because
Trespassing.
she is just trash,
And
man.
you cool as a fan. Email.
Okay, yeah. Marilyn Mosby refused to do anything. I'll show you the video.
And then obviously, this whole time is like the glasses are there. You got the invention. This whole thing's been fixed.
Listen. All this was easily fixed. Everything and everywhere I'm going, I'm finding out that there's no problems anywhere in the world. All the problems that we have are created. And all these systems are in league together. We are, what's been done to humanity is beyond comprehension. And the reason why we call on this the post-matrix apocalypse is because I want everybody to reveal their shames on this. I want everybody's shame to come out on this because the way we're living is not right. And I want people to feel free to express themselves and explain, yo, I was so fucked up in the matrix. I couldn't believe that I was doing this, that, and the other. You understand? I want that dialogue to go on because the matrix is broken. And we want people to feel comfortable about being able to share their shame because that was last reality. That shit's gone. We was all in it. And when we was in it, we did shit we wasn't proud of. So we just get out of it and that's it. There's no shame along with it. And this platform is providing that shame that, hey, you may have been a part of some shit that you may not have necessarily been proud of while you were still connected to that machine. But it should be coming over Patreon. But in this new matrix that we live in, you should have it. So, if you thought the rest of that...
Wait. So, I need to join this one.
Oh, did we drop him?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what I want you to understand, Adriano, is me and you hang out, right? And we talk shit and we smoke weed together, and you cool as a fan. I'm cool to hang out with, right?
God bless you, man. Of course, it's Cat Daddy.
Right. So you understand that the reason why I have to be another person is because when I walk outside my door, man, this is every aspect of my life. When I go to the gas station, when I go to the grocery store, when I go to work, when I come home from work. This is the journey of a black man's day, where everybody gets to do any manner of fuckery that they want. And then when he says, what the fuck? They said, look at the nigga. Look at him. He's a nigga. He's a nigga. Now look at me, brother. You realize that I called a girl 6,000 bitches yesterday? That is not who I am. I disrespected a black woman. That's nothing I'm proud of. But I wanted you to hear a nigga. I wanted you to hear that the only way she was willing to give me any kind of respect was for me to call her 6,000 bitches. You understand? And it's terrible that I know that. So to get heard, I had to call her 6,000 bitches. But I did it because people were suffering. And I don't want to be a part of the suffering. So if I got to call her 6,000 bitches to get eyes on this and stop suffering, then I'll do that. But it breaks my heart to have to sink to that level. And I'm not proud of it. But people are suffering. And if I got to call her 6,000 bitches to get these people their medical rights and get them seen, then I will call her 6,001 bitches.
That's it.
So you understand why people are acting the way they act. They poke at us all fucking day, man. They poke at us all fucking day. Then you go home and everything they see, they want to put Lil Nas X on there and poke at you more because we see that you done turned our children against us. But you as a black man walking around this place, they just poke and poke and poke. And they don't care who they poke with you in front of because they always get to show you reaction and say, look at the nigga. Do you see the nigga? the nigga. You see the nigga over there? And give me 1 second, get some water. Pardon me.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a sad part of reality.
It is like watching a movie in a savage one.
Mm-hmm.
There's no movie more crazy than real life.
No.
So understand
Self.
that I have given this to
Yeah, I'm just gonna upload this on Raw, I think.
the
Get the
state's
message out as soon as possible.
the state's attorney's office on more than 100 occasions, FBI, the police, attorney
Let's go for pure
general,
speed.
the MBE, the governor's office, the governor's office of minority affairs, everybody. I presented it in a very succinct, professional way. I understand y'all want to act like I don't know how to conduct myself, but I've been able to manage over 200,000 patients for 13 years. So I know how to write a letter.
My phone was dying.
Well, this is
That's
what I wrote.
actually, the turned camera is actually better.
It's better?
Yeah, we get more of a wide view.
Let me see. So I can, I'm going to sit this on something. My battery, I had to charge it to a source to use phones. So,
Get the angles. All
Yeah.
back angles. No, it's a terrible angle. That's
you said it's terrible?
yeah.
Oh, I can't see on my end. 1 second. It's
Mark
high.
full of breath stink.
Yeah, we need a bit higher.
Francis Ann Ford
Okay.
stink.
A little bit. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
She's a booger wolf.
Okay. So this is what happens when you are a black person. Well, in particular, you are a black man. So understand that I'm portrayed as the villain in this story, you understand? Because they get to show you the nigga. Look at this nigga calling this woman a bitch. Look at the nigga. Look at the nigga is what they get to do. So I want you to see how disrespectful they treat you because they know this system's fraud. And the people who want to see this are going to let these people off. So I'm going to tell you what's going on with these emails. So once I brought it to the attention of the system that people were not being seen, I sent them Wexford Health Sources again, Marianne Fortune, Dr. Kenneth Lee, and Marty Kovacs. That's Wexford Health Sources. And all of them still kept their job, even if they lost the contract. Horizon Health Sources, I gave it to Marvin Osford. I gave Marvin Osford the most. He's got everything. And I gave it to Tasha McMillan, Vice President, Horizon Operation, located, headquartered in Tennessee. And I gave everything to Dr. Sharon L. Bockham. She is the DPSCS medical director, has been there for a long time. So I gave them all of these things delivered directly to them. So what you're looking at is once I told them that, hey, look at these people in ophthalmology aren't being seen, I sent them the screenshot and all the people's names showing they haven't been seen. So what happened to the records of the people who I shared with the states? They deleted them. They got so little respect for you because they get to play look at the nigga. They actually put it in an email how they just so happen to be accidentally erased. So I'm going to read to you and explain to you what's going on with these series of emails so you can just see how disrespectful they are.
Just well removed.
Right, listen, they don't even deny it. And the other part is, today, things happen now and no one even goes to court. They don't even have to deny you no more. It's just that's the nigga. So, you see me August 10th, 2016, my assistant is copying saying that my name is Crystal Horn. I'm executive administrative assistant with POS. One of our employees, Evan Vaughn, put above ticket number Monday regarding files that he specifically put in the system are now gone. There are over 500 tasking files put into the system by him, and they have disappeared. I spoke to the health book. They informed me they were handling the ticket. Can you help me with this? So my assistants reached out to the help desk. So let me tell you how ridiculous this is, brother, because it gets worse. Because in the 80s, prisoners used to be able to sue and go to court, they brought in something called medical crimes, and their job is to take care of all the medical to prevent liability to the state. So here's how this was supposed to play out. The state gets everything you're seeing right now, okay? Her name is Lisa Branch. She's in the email as well. I send her all this information as well as Dr. Bachman. I even have Dr. Bachman's sent to her by private parcel, so it wouldn't link back up to her because she's my mentor. And I don't want to slap her as my mentor. And it's funny how all these characters' mentors always the ones that get them. It's funny. But so they delete the records. So once the state is aware, the only thing the state has to do is to tell the vendor to see the patients. You understand? The state has no culpability. The vendor, the medical vendor, has all of the liability. 100% of the liability is with the medical vendor. So if something goes wrong medically, the state could just sit back and like, yo, handle it, see your patients, wash your hands of it. But Lisa Branch, who works for the state, deleted the records. So why are you deleting the records for them? So now the state deleted the records of the crime. You understand? So, do you know what the result of this investigation was? They did an internal investigation in the prison system. Do you know what the result of it was?
No.
The result of this investigation of me saying, by the way, this went on for 6 years. I've been screaming for 10 years, but documentation specific to this went on for 6, and then another 5 after this. So I got another 5 after this. As a result of me providing the state, Wexford Health Sources, Horizon Health Sources, with documentation, the patients weren't being seen. And then, once presented to all 3 of them, all of the records were miraculously erased. The result of the investigation was that Mr. Santana fraudulently put out accusation because he was trying to get Dr. Michael Summerfield more patients so Dr. Summerfield could make more money. So the decision was, I was trying to defraud the system to give Dr. Summerfield the ability to make more money.
So fucked.
All right.
Now I got a question for y'all.
They take the piss.
Nobody find any of that peculiar that here I am on email saying, hey, this is the email directly looking at yourself. I'm concerned that their medical records and they've been deleted, removed from a system, and we could very well have a federal offense because Evan did not remove them. So, of course, as you may be aware, the state is coming down pretty hard. We need these files. We need these files. Where are these files? You hear me keep screaming to everybody. I'm putting in tickets left and right. I make sure all of my assistants put in tickets. I make sure 4 different people put in tickets because this is urgent. Where are the patient records? So as a result of all these things, the resolution was, I was just trying to build up his patient base for him to make more money. Do you understand what they can do to a nigga? Do you understand that everybody in this situation who I mentioned are black? The only person who is not black is the white doctor. So you looking at this and you thinking, oh, this is racism, that's fucked up. Yes, it's racism, but what I want you to understand is these are all black people who are going along with this, and they are doing all this to protect one white doctor. And even black people get to play the game, look at the nigga. It's fucked up when black people are playing, look at the nigga, look at the nigga. But that's what's taking place here. Now, I know you guys aren't genius attorneys, But does it seem like somebody does not want these records to be anywhere or looked at? Does it seem like it seems as a concerted effort for people not to see these records?
Definitely, and they're taking the piss as well with the way that they're flipping it round. Is obvious, like they're trying to do salt on the wounds. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, and remember, Adriana, I believe you were there when they tried to get me in Mexico. Remember, they stole my money. That's another conversation. But I just want to point out that Marilyn Mosby is the state's attorney for Maryland, okay? The governor, Larry Hogan, he refuses to even meet with her. So literally, he hasn't met with her in over 2 years. So understand, the governor of a state, her office in Baltimore, which is the largest economy in Maryland, we're a major city. He refused to even meet with her or speak with her. You understand? And she is black in a black city, and the governor, the white guy, who's clearly a racist, gets to say, "You a piece of shit," and then they get to do the thing. He gets to lie on her. He gets to lie on her, and then say, "Look at the nigga, look at the nigga." And do you know why it always works? It always works because I had to travel the world and get beat up and shot at a couple times to understand it always works, because our neighborhoods and all of our institutions have been infiltrated in ways you can't even imagine. There's a church in Baltimore called the Empowerment Temple. Shout out to the Empowerment Temple. Shout out Aunt Tina. Shout out everyone who goes to the Empowerment Temple that I know who is a member are beautiful, beautiful souls and just looking for love. My Aunt Tina is one of the most beautiful spirits, beautiful vibrations you're ever going to see. So, Marilyn Mosby did interview with the Empowerment Temple, and they're talking about we got to protect her, and she's a member here, and we're protecting her. You know. So when I saw that, I immediately say, "Hooray! Hooray! I could get all the information to Marilyn Mosby through her church. So this way, all of the people who go to her church can know she's being railroaded. And by it coming through her church..."
I'm going to speed this part up because clearly I gave all this information to Marilyn Mosby's office, different people in her office, and I went to her church and gave it to her church so it didn't look like it came from me. So I gave this to everybody and gave it to the church, especially because I know the women over there gossip. So everyone is fully aware of this.
Church, they ain't gotta point the nigga at me. So I was trying to deflect the look at the nigga, and I was trying to deflect it to the church so the church can all see it. So I called her church.
Fast forward this up.
Well, they know you. They know you.
Okay, yeah, they know me. This is going to press a whole bunch of buttons, and everything you have in front of you, you make sure it's being seen. So everyone, when they start playing the watch the nigga game, you know, you look at the people who run this place. You understand that in America, you in the UK, in America, it is the law that you receive medical while you in prison. It's the law. It's not a situation where it's a contract thing or it's a difference of opinion. It is our law. So these people are openly breaking the law, and there's hundreds of them, but they get to keep them in prison for breaking the law, and everyone is breaking the law right now, and everyone is watching it, especially the governor's office. And you understand the hypocrisy in this? You are making people stay in prison for breaking the law, and here in writing, you are breaking the law. I'm something in my state of Maryland. I am listed as something called an MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, which means that the law in Maryland, not the contract, not the amendment, not the right, but the written law states that an MBE cannot be removed from a contract without the permission of MBE, meaning me, and the MBE office. So I want you to understand that this had been going on for 10 years longer, and they could never find a mechanism to make this stop in the prison systems. So out of desperation, I wrote my letter, and they was able to fire me illegally. It's against the law. You can't fire me. I'm an MBE. The reason why they have to have MBEs written in the law, it's not a contract, it's written in the law, is because it's such a racist place that they will always have big contracts, and they would give all the big money to white people and give all the scraps to black people. So they made it that you couldn't do that. You have to have some type of inclusion. So the law states that I cannot be replaced. You understand? But they fired me 24 hours later after my letter. They couldn't figure out a way to get these people seen, but they could find a way to get me fired within 24 hours of my letter. Now, if you do not believe me that this is a law, well, why don't I just let you hear it from them? Since the nigga, you's a nigga. Don't listen to the nigga. So I'm not going to tell you. Let me just let you see it. Because you can't trust these niggas, you know. Definitely can't trust these niggas.
This is Dr. Ford, Dr. Frances Ann Ford. She's the one who stole the $363,000.
Very clear.
That's her.
Yes, brother.
This Dr. Frances Ann Ford.
I want this to be made very,
She
very
is
clear.
the Booger Wolf of the year. She's the one.
What happens when you tell the truth?
They stole my money. Dr. Frances Ann.
Some conscious energy for everyone watching this right now. Send some conscious energy to our saint over here. God bless him. Hold
And
on.
let me let you see what the institution understand that these are the ones who make the rules. They're the ones who wrote the laws. So in regards to firing me, which I don't even want to bring up, but this is just something additional to look into. I just want someone to think it might be suspicious that the guy who's telling on these guys got fired and they stole all of his money. They stole $363,000 from me. They took all of my money and shut my business down in 24 hours. But I guess that's a coincidence too. You know why? Because look at the nigga. Look at this hat. He's a nigga. That's a nigga.
This is Frances Ford.
And everybody on these emails are aware of it because you see me sharing it. So let me show you what the system says about what they're able to do and what they can't do. Oh, by the way, Adriano, I know the Cat Daddy or Mr. Can You Dig It seems like a funny guy, but I keep impeccable records. You understand? When you black, you better have 3 sets of records and something physical because they lie on you. Please put that up there. This right here is the law. Do you see that little shield down there in the corner with that red and yellow? You know, that's the law. You understand? This is the law. These people putting people in jail. You understand? Now, this person here is the person put in charge of protecting minorities. Her job is to specifically make sure that the prison system, the DPSCS, or anything that's government funded, taxpayer dollars, her job is to make sure under no circumstance do we get railroaded, and she is our protection. So naturally I say, hey man, they stole $363,000 of my money and fired me in less than 24 hours. Where is my protection? This is her response. Yes, you are correct. You cannot be removed. You understand? Just look at it yourself. So they broke the law, man. They keep breaking the law. This is their laws that they're breaking. And guess what? Did no one do anything when they stole my money? They shut my business down. Nothing happened. Because the people who are supposed to enforce the law are the criminals. And they're the ones, the people, they did it. They doing it. So you have two choices. You could ignore everything I'm saying and go along with that's the nigga, or you could say, wow, it's suspicious that when he was on the plane, hey, Travis, did you see me get attacked on the plane?
Yeah, I saw that on the Killer Priest.
Yeah. Is it weird that this guy gets attacked? Is it weird that when so understand that when I moved to Amsterdam, I was up 1.3 million and I got iFocus in my pocket. So 2 weeks before I get my money, 3 of my stores burned down. I had a whole block of shit. That's weird, huh? All these weird things keep happening. Ain't it weird that when I was in Mexico, Adriano, what was I doing when I was in Mexico?
Oh, when you there to see Christian?
Right, but what was I doing with Christian?
Like using the machine to heal your son.
And who else?
Santos Bonacci.
And who paid for the machines?
Did you pay for the machines?
Yeah, look at the video. Yeah.
Oh man, come on,
I want you to understand. So I want you to understand that the cancer healing machine that Christian developed down in Mexico, I went down there and I funded all that. I'm gonna put a matter of fact here, take a look at it. I funded the cancer machine. So it wasn't for my son, it was for cancer. So while I was in Mexico funding a cancer machine, brother, they stole my money and shut my business down. Let me send it to you. So, everyone wants to play, look at the nigga. But they don't tell you, wait a minute, look at the nigga. What was the nigga doing when they took all of his money?
So she is the one.
So I want you to see for yourself. And guess what? You ain't got to hear it from me because I don't want to say anything because if I say anything good about me, they get to say, look at the nigga. Look at the nigga. So,
this is Dr. Francis Ford.
Sorry,
this is Dr. Francis Ford. She's the one.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh,
yeah.
All right, play that video.
Oh, let me move this out of the way.
Santon's going to be talking about $1 trillion lawsuit that's in the making.
A little back up. So I do the eye care for the prison system. So basically, I'm the guy that goes inside the prison system. We'll go and do your eye exam inside. So we examine the prisoners inside the system, and then we make their glasses for them. My company's been doing that since 2007. Because of the nature of my business, I get to see everyone's records, and we see pretty much 70% of the population of the inmate population when we're in prison to do eye exams for them and making glasses. And whenever we get patients that have illnesses or situations that are beyond what we can do or we're legally allowed to do, being that we deal with optometry and opticianry, we have to then refer them out to an ophthalmologist. And the ophthalmologists are the ones that do the diagnosis, that do the surgery. So in the state of Maryland, I noticed that I started seeing patients over and over again. I presented the state with 500 patients in a 6-month span who had not been seen, who had been waiting for months and years for service. I'm in a system that's got 60,000 black inmates that have been constitutionally raped and is continuing right now. So the least they can do is they're going to force you to be in this filthy environment is giving you constitutional amended rights of your medical care. But they don't. They haven't. I have proof. And the funny thing is, the state of Maryland deleted over 500 inmate records that were showing that they were being discriminated against. So every day, their vision gets worse, and the condition gets worse, and it never returns. And listen, I am the system. Of course, I am alienated
and I don't have nobody backing me, and y'all don't realize that I'm in all these different rooms. These are big fights that I'm fighting. I'm telling you, we got a machine that cures cancer, brother.
Yeah.
We're telling you that the people are neglecting the prisons in the system. I'm in a lot of places, and everywhere I'm at, it's a fight. How are you doing social distancing in a 5x3? How are you doing a social distancing in a 5x3 then?
That is
you can't. I mean, a lot of good things happen for these prisoners at a cost savings to the state. Because for me working in the prisons isn't a job, it's a passion. Because these people aren't being seen.
Santana is actually funding with his own money. He's allowing Christian and Fernando, who are the guys behind the magnetic healing machines, to have access to his open bank account. And I can tell you now, by the equipment that has arrived, I think there has been somewhere in the millions
for humanity. And
So what I want you to understand is this woman by the name of Dr. Frances Ann Ford, when I was in Mexico, put together the cancer clinic. She opened a business up by the name of POS. My business is called POS, Prison Operation System. She opened up a business called POS, Prison Ophthalmic System, but it was POS. She literally took the paychecks that were signed and that were mailed to, that were directed to us, had them redirected to a P.O. box that I have no idea that existed, and she literally took my company's checks, forged my signature, submitted forms to the MBE office, and submitted information on my behalf, and she literally deposited the checks into her account, signed my name and deposited them into her account, forged my names, filled out a form and forged a form and sent it to the MBE. Her name is Dr. Frances Ann Ford. This is her booger wolf face. And it says, it's her if I don't make up. Frances Booger Wolf Ann Ford. And she's married to Norbit.
I knew this was a risk.
So let me fast forward
if
this.
I start sharing certain truths.
This is almost over.
This frequency, I want to hang with you. And if you believe in this frequency, you can hang with them. And whether you black or whatever, let that be the new standard. Because we've been lied to. And the reason why the black community cannot get out of it, because the people we put in place as our leaders are frauds.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this right there. And I hope it didn't take a whole bunch of time. But I think this is a very clear that people aren't being seen, haven't been seen, records were deleted, and there's a clear, obvious attempt to make sure none of this is being seen. Well, clearly, they're hiding something. So, I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll talk to you soon. I'll do this. Benjamin Crump is a booger wolf. Laura Lightfoot is a booger wolf. Frances Ann Ford is the booger wolf of the year. And Roberta Green is a horrible person.